Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chavez Cycling, the channel where we make cycling a seamless and joyful part of your daily life. The single biggest reason people give up on cycling isn't the hills, the traffic, or the weather. It's pain. Specifically, saddle pain. It's the silent ride killer that we've all been told to just get used to. Well, the advice to just tough it out is the worst advice you could ever get. Comfort is not a luxury in cycling. It is the very foundation of performance, endurance, and most importantly, enjoyment. An uncomfortable saddle doesn't just hurt your body, it steals the joy from your ride. In this comprehensive guide, we're going to transform your relationship with your bike seat. We're not just talking about quick fixes. We're going on a journey from understanding the great saddle myth to mastering the art of the perfect setup, and even looking at how you, the rider, are part of the equation. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge and the confidence to make your bike so comfortable you'll never want the ride to end. So grab a notepad and let's get started on fixing that saddle pain forever. Section 1. The Great Saddle Myth. Why softer isn't better. Let's begin by dismantling the biggest misconception in the world of cycling comfort. It's the first thing everyone thinks when they feel pain. I need a bigger, softer, cushier saddle. We see them in stores, these huge, gel-filled wide saddles that look like plush armchairs. And the logic seems sound, right? If my behind hurts, more padding should solve the problem. But this is what I call the Great Saddle Myth. In almost 90% of cases, adding more indiscriminate padding actually makes the problem worse. It's a trap. To understand why, we need to think about how our body is designed to sit. When you sit on a firm surface, your weight is supported by two specific points at the bottom of your pelvis. These are your ischial tuberosities, but we can just call them your sit bones. They are designed by nature to bear your weight. A good bicycle saddle is engineered to support you primarily on these sit bones. It's like a custom-made stool designed for your anatomy. The rest of the saddle is there simply to guide you and provide stability. Now, what happens when you introduce a huge, squishy, gel-filled saddle? When you sit on it, your sit bones sink down into the padding, which at first feels nice. But as they sink, the soft tissue between and around your sit bones is now forced to bear your body weight. This includes sensitive nerves and blood vessels, the perineal area, that are absolutely not designed for that kind of pressure. The extra wide back of the saddle can also cause significant chafing on your inner thighs with every single pedal stroke. That gel, which feels so soft to the touch, moves and squishes around as you pedal, creating friction and hot spots. So, that super plush saddle that promised comfort is now causing pressure where you don't want it, chafing on your thighs and restricting blood flow. It's the exact opposite of what we need. The goal isn't to sit in a saddle like a beanbag. The goal is to sit on a saddle supported by your skeletal structure. So, our first mental shift is to stop looking for the softest saddle and start looking for the right saddle. And that has everything to do with shape and width, not the amount of gel inside. Section 2. Finding your perfect match. How to choose the right saddle. Okay, so if a big cushy saddle isn't the answer, what is? The answer is a saddle that fits your unique anatomy. And the single most important factor in that fit is saddle width. A saddle needs to be wide enough to support both of your sit bones, but not so wide that it interferes with your leg movement. If the saddle is too narrow, your sit bones will hang off the sides, placing all your weight on that sensitive soft tissue in the middle. If it's too wide, you'll get chafing, and it will feel like you're sitting on a log. So, how do you find your perfect width? You need to measure the distance between your sit bones. Now, you could go to a bike shop where they have a special memory foam pad for this, but you can easily do it at home. All you need is a piece of corrugated cardboard. the kind from a shipping box. Here's what you do. Place the cardboard on a hard, flat surface, like a stool or a low step. Now, sit down on it. The key here is to mimic your riding posture. Lean forward slightly, as you would on your bike, and maybe even lift your feet up a little. This helps your sit bones press firmly into the cardboard. Sit there for about 30 seconds, then stand up. Now, look at the cardboard. You should see two small circular indentations. These were made by your sit bones. Take a pen and circle them so they're easy to see. Now, use a ruler to measure the distance between the center of the left indentation and the center of the right indentation. Do this in millimeters. This number is your sit bone width. For example, let's say you measure 115 millimeters. Now what? As a general rule, you want a saddle that is about 15 to 25 millimeters wider than your sight bone measurement. This extra width provides the platform for your bones to rest on. So, for a 115 millimeter measurement, you should be looking for a saddle in the 130 millimeter to 140 millimeter width range. Most saddle manufacturers list the width of their saddles right on the packaging or in the online description. Beyond width, you'll see saddles with different shapes. Some are flat, some are curved. Some have a cutout in the middle, called a pressure relief channel. There's no single best shape. It depends on your flexibility and riding style. Flat saddles. These are often preferred by more flexible riders who move around on the saddle a lot. Curved saddles. These have a dip in the middle and a raised tail. They tend to hold you in one position and can be great for riders who like to feel locked in and supported. Saddles with cutouts. These are designed to completely eliminate pressure on the sensitive perineal area. They are extremely popular and a fantastic choice for both men and women who experience numbness or pain in that specific region. My recommendation, if you're starting from scratch, finding your sit bone width is the first and most important step. From there, a saddle with a modest amount of padding and a pressure relief cutout is an excellent and safe place to start for the vast majority of daily riders. Don't be afraid of how firm it feels in your hands. Remember, it's not about hand comfort, it's about sit bone comfort. Section 3. The Art of the Perfect Setup. Adjusting for ultimate comfort. You could have the most expensive, perfectly sized saddle in the world, but if it's set up incorrectly, it will feel terrible. This next part is arguably the most important section of this entire video. An uncomfortable bike is often not a bad bike. It's just a badly adjusted bike. We are going to master the 3 critical saddle adjustments: height, tilt, and fore-aft position. For this, you will likely need a set of Allen keys or a multi-tool and maybe a tape measure. Part 1. Saddle height. This is the king of all adjustments. If you get only one thing right, make it this. A saddle that is too low or too high is the source of countless problems, from knee pain to severe saddle discomfort. A saddle that's too low forces you into a cramped position. Your powerful leg muscles can't extend properly, you lose efficiency, and it puts a lot of stress on the front of your knees. It also makes you sit very heavily on the saddle, increasing pressure. A saddle that's too high is even worse. You'll find yourself rocking your hips from side to side with every pedal stroke just to reach the bottom. This constant shifting creates massive amounts of friction and chafing on the saddle. It can lead to pain in the back of your knees and your lower back. So, how do we find the Goldilocks position? Here's a very simple and effective method called the heel-to-pedal method. 1. Put on the shoes you normally cycle in. 2. Get on your bike and hold onto a wall or a table for support. 3. Place your heel, not the ball of your foot, but your heel, on the pedal. 4. Now, pedal backwards slowly until one leg is at the very bottom of the pedal stroke, in the 6 o'clock position. 5. In this position, your leg should be completely straight, but not so straight that you have to lock your knee or stretch your hip down to reach. Just a straight, comfortable leg. If your leg is still bent, your saddle is too low. Loosen the seat post clamp, raise the saddle a little, and try again. If you have to rock your hip down to keep your heel on the pedal, your saddle is too high. Lower it. Once you find that straight leg position with your heel, you're almost there. Now, when you move your foot to the proper riding position, with the ball of your foot over the pedal axle, you will have the perfect slight bend in your knee at the bottom of the stroke. This is your power position. Make small adjustments from here until it feels just right. This one change can revolutionize how your bike feels. Part 2. Saddle Tilt Angle. Next up is the angle of the saddle. This determines how your weight is distributed between your sit bones and your hands. The starting point for almost every saddle on every bike should be perfectly level. How do you check this? You can use a small spirit level. Place it on the saddle, running from the tail to the nose. If you don't have a level, a smartphone with a level app works perfectly. Adjust the bolts under your saddle until the bubble is right in the middle. Now, ride your bike for a few minutes with the level saddle. How does it feel? This is your neutral baseline. From here, we can make micro adjustments. If you feel too much pressure on the sensitive soft tissues at the front, you might benefit from tilting the nose of the saddle down ever so slightly. I'm talking 1, maybe 2 degrees at most. A tiny change here makes a huge difference. Be careful though. If you tilt it down too much, you'll feel like you're constantly sliding forward, which will put a lot of pressure on your hands, wrists, and shoulders as you prop yourself up. If you feel like you're sliding off the back of the saddle, or if the nose feels too high, you might try tilting the nose up by just 1 degree. This can help lock you into position, but can also increase pressure. So be cautious. For 99% of riders, a perfectly level saddle is the right answer. Start there, and only make 1 tiny adjustment at a time until you find what works for you. Part 3. Saddle fore aft position. Setback. The last piece of our setup puzzle is the fore aft position. This is how far forward or backward the saddle is clamped onto the rails. This adjustment isn't just for comfort. It's critical for efficient pedaling and proper weight balance on the bike. The classic method to set this is called KOPS, which stands for Knee Over Pedal Spindle. It sounds technical, but it's quite simple. Get on your bike, again next to a wall for support. You might need a friend to help you with this one. Clip in or place your feet on the pedals. Rotate the cranks until they are perfectly horizontal to the ground. In the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions, your front foot is the one we'll be looking at. Now, you need to find a bony bump just below your kneecap. That's the tibial tuberosity. We want to see if this point is directly above the center of the pedal axle, the spindle. To check this, you can make a simple plumb line with a piece of string and a small weight, like a nut or a key. Dangle the string from that bony point on your knee. The string should hang down and intersect the very center of your pedal axle. If the string falls in front of the pedal axle, your saddle is too far forward. You need to loosen the clamp and slide the saddle back. If the string falls behind the pedal axle, your saddle is too far back. You need to slide it forward. Getting this right ensures your knee is in a safe and powerful position over the pedal. It properly aligns your center of gravity and makes your pedal stroke feel much smoother and more natural. Take your time with these 3 adjustments. Height, tilt, fore aft. They are the pillars of cycling comfort. Don't be afraid to experiment. Change one thing at a time. Go for a short ride and see how it feels. Your body will tell you when you've got it right. Section 4. It's not just the saddle. Looking at the rider. We've spent a lot of time focused on the bike, but the rider, that's you, is the other half of this comfort equation. There are 3 key rider-focused elements we need to address: your clothing, your posture, and your adaptation to riding. First, let's talk about cycling shorts. If you are riding for more than 20 to 30 minutes at a time and experiencing chafing or soreness, A pair of padded cycling shorts is not a luxury. It is essential equipment. The pad inside, called a chamois, pronounced chamois, is specifically designed to do three things: provide a layer of cushioning, reduce friction between you and the saddle, and wick away sweat to keep you dry and prevent bacteria from building up. Here is the most important rule about cycling shorts. You do not wear underwear with them. I'll say it again, no underwear. They are designed to be worn directly against the skin. The seams on your underwear will bunch up and create the very pressure points and chafing you're trying to avoid. Trust me on this. It might feel strange at first, but it is the correct way and will make a world of difference. Second, consider your overall riding posture. The position of your handlebars has a huge impact on your saddle comfort. If your handlebars are very low and far away, you will be rotated forward over the bike in an aggressive, aerodynamic position. This is great for racing, but it also rotates your pelvis forward, which can put a lot of pressure on those sensitive soft tissues. For daily life and comfort-focused cycling, you may want to have your handlebars a bit higher. This allows you to sit in a more upright position, which ensures your weight is placed squarely on your sight bones. You can often raise your handlebars by moving spacers on your steerer tube or by getting a stem with a higher angle of rise. A more relaxed, upright posture can instantly relieve a lot of saddle pressure. Finally, there is the element of adaptation, or what cyclists call saddle time. If you are new to cycling or returning after a long break, a certain amount of initial tenderness is normal. Your body isn't used to supporting its weight in this way. It takes time for your sit bones and the surrounding tissues to toughen up. This doesn't mean you should ride through sharp pain, but it does mean you should be patient. Start with shorter rides, 20 minutes, then 30, then 45. Gradually increase the duration. This allows your body to adapt without being overwhelmed. Don't go from zero riding to a 2-hour epic on a Saturday. Build up to it. Within a couple of weeks of consistent riding, you'll find that what used to feel tender now feels completely normal. So remember, wear the right gear, check your posture, and give your body time to adapt. Section 5. Quick fixes and common traps to avoid. Before we wrap up, I want to cover a few common traps people fall into and some quick tips. The number one trap we need to talk about again is the gel seat cover. This is the cousin of the great saddle myth. It's that squishy cover you slip over your existing saddle. Please, avoid these. They suffer from all the same problems as an overly padded saddle. They slide around, they bunch up, they create friction, and they add pressure in all the wrong places. They are a temporary, feel-good solution that almost always creates bigger problems down the road. It's much better to solve the root cause, the saddle choice and setup, than to put a Band-Aid on it. What if you've tried everything? A new saddle, careful adjustments, padded shorts, and you're still in significant pain? At that point, it might be time to consider a professional bike fit. A good bike fitter has years of experience and specialized tools to analyze your body mechanics and adjust your bike perfectly to you. It's an investment, but it can completely transform your cycling life and solve problems you didn't even know you had. And a final quick tip for after your ride. If you're feeling a bit sore, some gentle stretching can do wonders. A simple glute stretch, like the pigeon pose from yoga, or a piriformis stretch, can help release tension built up in the muscles around your hips and lower back, which can contribute to that feeling of soreness. Conclusion and outro. So, there you have it. The complete journey to finding true, lasting comfort on your bicycle. Let's quickly recap the core principles. 1. Ditch the myth. More padding is not the answer. The right shape and width for your sit bones is what matters. 2. Master the setup. Your saddle height, tilt, and fore-aft position are the 3 pillars of comfort. A few millimeters of adjustment can make all the difference. 3. Remember the rider. Invest in good padded shorts. Check your posture and give your body time to adapt. Pain is not a mandatory part of cycling. It's a signal from your body that something is wrong with the fit between you and your machine. By listening to that signal and using the knowledge we've shared today, you can systematically eliminate that pain and unlock the pure joy of riding. Cycling should be about freedom, about exploration, about feeling the wind and seeing the world from a different perspective. It should never be a battle against your own bike. I hope this guide has empowered you to take control of your comfort. Now, I want to hear from you. What was the one tip that made the biggest difference for your saddle comfort? Share your stories and questions in the comments below. Let's help each other build a more comfortable cycling community. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Chavez Cycling for more practical tips to improve your daily ride. Thank you so much for watching. Now go make those adjustments, and I'll see you on the road. See you on the road. See you on